This one is actually a little frustrating, and I put this play concept in the video twice. So very next play, after that TFL for Amik, it's a 3rd and 11. This is QB log draw. The Eagles have run this since 2021. Credit them for keeping this in the playbook, and I'm disappointed that Detroit didn't have a better handle on it. So I'll give you the formation from the All-22 here first. Like I said, keep in mind it's a 3rd and 11. So 2 high safety structure for the Lions. That's Barnes over the tight end, and here's Campbell widened out over number 3. Let's go back to the end zone angle so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. I just talked about Barnes and Campbell. You can see all the width that there is here in between the tackles. Basically, the defensive ends, if it's empty against the Eagles, 3rd down, and they're past the 50, then you got to look for QB log draw. They've been running this play since 2021. It's a great job, if you ask me. I suspect that they probably have this just in as a check, for when they go empty. Detroit was prepared for everything. This was the only concept I felt like they were not prepared for. The only situation, I should say. Barnes is way off screen to our left. He's with the wide receiver or the tight end. And I do think that Jalen Hurts is going to get this first down. That blue line is the line to gain to get the first down. But it definitely goes down as a missed tackle for Muhammad, which is really unfortunate. If Muhammad and Hutchinson were checking draw first out of empty, yes, that's going to influence their ability to get pass rush. Let me ask you this. How effective was Jalen Hurts in the pass game? Not much. He was 14 of 28 for, I think, less than 140 yards. How effective do you think he would be coming in? I did not get the impression that he was going to light this team up with the pass game. This is the only play concept that I would say Kelvin Sheppard and his staff, his team, didn't necessarily have a great plan for. Same play from the All-22 angle. That's Anzalone, Campbell, Barnes, the 3 inside linebackers. So you're talking about a 4-3 structure on 3rd and 11, which is really cool. The only thing that's not cool about it is Barnes expands with the tight end. You're in a 2 high safety structure. Numbers-wise, the defensive ends have to be a part of this play. I'm not saying they need to fold inside and give up the edge and make things easy for Hurts to bounce it outside, but this is a known concept that the Eagles run in this situation. There's the line to gain. Barnes way too wide to do anything about it. So is Campbell. Muhammad is there to make a tackle. I just don't think those guys are playing it with the proper technique to respect the fact that the Eagles are willing to run this play. They've shown it on film, but you have to give Philadelphia credit. They run it so infrequently that it can almost be ignored from a game plan standpoint. Perhaps could actually be labeled as the 11th possession, and we're early into the 4th quarter. It's a 3rd and 6. Another disappointing look by the defense, who I've spent considerable time praising and telling you that you should consider looking at this effort as borderline heroic. But again, it pops up unfortunately on a 3rd and down. It's an empty formation by the Eagles. Let me show you guys from the All-22 what I mean. Empty formation. So you've got Branch, Amik. There's Jack Campbell out over the running back. Anzalone over top of the tight end. And then I think that is Rock up to the top side against A.J. Brown. So we'll pull this back and you can see the end zone angle again. All of those numbers and playing man, what that means is you've got a 4-1 in the box. So 4 down linemen to rush. Muhammad, Reeder, McNeil, and Hutchinson from right to left. The DNs have to help here. There's just no way that you can play this numerically. Now, it's not the same concept. So usually what they would do, if you had a shaded nose tackle, then let's say that DJ Reeder, if I had the ability in my graphics program to put DJ Reeder's body there, then what would happen is the left guard will block down on him, and then the center would loop out and go lead the way. You guys saw that concept from a mirrored standpoint earlier in the game. I diagrammed it from this very same angle. No awareness, man. That's the most disappointing thing. McNeil, Hutchinson are chasing a sack, and I think that DJ kind of loses his balance or something. There's the gap, obviously. Barnes doesn't go the wrong way. Barnes got 2 gaps to cover. He can't cover this. No one else is even in the area code to possibly help him. So, for me, I think this is just a lack of preparedness, which contrasted with the praise that I'm giving Kelvin Sheppard's defense, I know might sound hypocritical. I can separate the way that they played 97% of the game versus these quarterback log draw situations. Same play from the all-22. You can see why numbers-wise it doesn't work, even though you've only got a one high safety look. Inside linebacker pulled out of the box. Another inside linebacker pulled out of the box, Anzalone, but that's typical when he's playing man on a tight end. And Barnes is really just on an island if the defensive ends are not going to help. If it's empty formation, basically you've got to have a check. And these guys, Hutchinson, Muhammad, whoever the D end is on the other side, they've got to be more patient and say, okay, we can't chase a sack here because there's a chance that it's draw. It's just called draw check or check draw. That's it. And then you can proceed on your pass rush. This is simple. And so it's really surprising to me that Kelvin Sheppard's defense, which played at such a high level, got beat by this twice because it allowed the Eagles to take a 16-6 lead.